Start it up, check your levels, and you're good to go. Hey boys, what's happening? My car has broken down again. Now, around 3,000 Ks ago, we had the whole timing belt and oil pump off the front of this car. We even took the sump off so we could reseal that. But now, my water pump's leaking. Now, I was driving to work the other day and it started overheating, but luckily these are the best engines in the world. There wasn't any damage there. So I pulled over and had a look, and sure enough, we had water underneath the car. And when you're looking at these engines, you have the top and bottom radiator hoses on this side, on the back of the engine. So at the front here, there are only other water hoses. There's one underneath the intake manifold, and there's a couple little water hoses underneath the throttle body there. But that puddle of water that I have right underneath, it can't be anything else apart from the water pump. So when you buy a water pump, it's going to come something like this. Now, if we take a look at the front of this engine, you probably could get a socket and extension and get through some of these hard to reach ones. But when you got part of the body here and the engine mount sitting there, it's quite difficult to reach, and I wouldn't waste your time trying to do that. So usually I just take the alternator off, just remove the alternator. You can then remove these 3 bolts here, and there's a little 10mm underneath here. Undo the big hose which goes around to the thermostat housing. Then you can just pull the whole lot off like that. Now the way I usually do this is up on a hoist, but I understand some of you guys might not have a hoist or access to jack or jack stands. So we can actually do this while the car's still on the ground, and all we have to do is pretty much take the intake manifold off, and then we can reach down here and do what we need to do. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. Yeah, well, I pulled those 3 bolts off the water pump, pulled the little 10mm out under here, pulled the hose clamp off, I pulled that off, and the heater hose. It's too hard to film by myself, but Nick is here to save the day. Now, this should all slide off. Shimmy this to get that big hose off. Look at there.
Do you have a new one to put on there?
Yeah, I got a brand new one. This does make some horrible noises too when it's sitting there running. Like grinding noises and stuff.
Yeah, does it feel a bit grindy?
Yeah. See, I was explaining earlier that you probably could reach these inside the car with great difficulty, but you may as well just pull the intake off, pull that out. You can reseal this O-ring while you've got it all off.
Yeah, just redo it all real nice.
It's really not that bad to do it this way either. These 5 bolts to pull off. Oh, how clean's that? That's a little gasket.
It like squashes in, you don't need to use.
Well, for 320 something thousand Ks, the original water pump, that's pretty good. Just got to clean that up, put some silicone in there, and then we're good to go back on. Old O-ring, no good. We found a new one. Just wet this bad boy up. You probably could just use grease, but what do you reckon, Nick, you'd silicone it? Just for a bit of insurance?
Yeah, that can't hurt, can it?
That's it. Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah. Just come around your back.
I put in that big hose first, in the back. In case you grab the wrong bolt, this one is a little bit shorter than the 2 rail bolts. One nut on the bottom. Second nut on the bottom. Little water pipe from the throttle body. I swear everything on this car's dodgy, and it's just, we'll just see what happens.
Just holds together.
Alternator upper bracket. Alternator upper bolt. And here's me holding the alternator wire.
Time for the intake then, is it?
Yep. Bit of weight there, mate. Bit of weight in these things.
Yeah.
Yep, there's a 5 nuts and bolts to put back in there. Brake booster hose. A little 10mm nut to put the wiring loom back on the back for the earth. Map sensor vacuum line on the back. And make sure you got 4 of these rubber things on the bottom of the injectors.
They sometimes get stuck in the head, don't they?
I like putting them in the injectors first. You should probably flush your coolant stuff, but this car doesn't get any love, so we're probably just gonna top it up with coolant, put some water in there, and that'll be it. Start it up, check your levels, and you're good to go.
Yeah, it sounds alright.